Hi, good afternoon. I do welcome you back to Poem Praise 2. And peace be upon you. We're going to pick it right back up because I'm right back at you. And I did tell you that the next section title is The Clown. Now let's see what it has to say regarding the psychological legacy of slavery in this section. And it goes like this. Another popular character which has its origin in slavery is the African American clown. One of the primary forms of remaining in favor with the slave master by the slaves was to provide entertainment for the master and his household. It is easy to observe that man exults in his superiority over lower animals by teaching them to do tricks and to be entertained by those tricks. In much the same way, the slave owner prided himself in his superiority by being entertained by the slave. Writers have long pointed to the jester, the clown, or the fool, as the inferior one who has the responsibility for making his superior laugh. Using a person for your clown has always been one of the major ways to assert your dominance over a person. Mockery is one of the more sophisticated forms of humiliation. Great favors of leniency and special rewards were given to the clowning slave. He enjoyed a special status above the other slaves because he kept his master entertained. Even the arts, music, and dance, which had originally been used for cultural expression and community recreation, became devices which were used by the slave to protect himself from the master's anger. Fiddler in the TV drama Roots was a colorful example of this manipulative function of the clown. Clowning and buffering became one of the primary ways that the violent and abusive slave master could be controlled and manipulated. A laughing or satisfied master was less likely to be a violent master. Frederick Douglass observes in his autobiography, "In all the songs of the slaves, there were ever some expression and praise of the great house farm, something which would flatter the pride of the owner and possibly draw a favorable glance from him. I am going away to the great house farm. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. My old master is a good old master. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah." This they would sing with other words of their own improvisation, jargon to others, but full of meaning to themselves. Now, the problem with this pattern, or with others we have discussed, is the kind of response has long outlived its real usefulness. What began as a survival tactic under highly unnatural living conditions has become a crippling part of the psychology of a people seeking to restore life and community to themselves. An overwhelming number of popular media presentations involve African American clowns. Comedy is valuable, useless, and it is done to the extension of aspects of other facets of a people's life. The clear underrepresentation of serious aspects of African American life in the popular media suggests that even the former slaves prefer to laugh about themselves rather than improve themselves. I'm going to repeat that one again, because that was just a That even the former slaves prefer to laugh about themselves rather than improve themselves. Now, the buffoon Martin Lawrence in the 1990s and the bug-eyed JJ on the program Good Times in the 70s are updates of the 1940s and the 1950s, Stephen Fetchit and Mantan Moreland. These clowns were updates on the slavery buffoon who mastered being funny to survive. This is not to degrade obvious talents of these master showmen, but to identify a force which has been exalted, the clown, while degrading or ignoring the scientist or the other artistic genius among African Americans. Entertainers and athletes are popular heroes of the African American community. Physical powers or comic exploits are the only characteristics black heroes are permitted to express. Intellectual acuity, prophetic vision, moral integrity, technological know-how, and managerial efficiency are characteristics seldom, if ever, portrayed. Consequently, the slave images of power persist. African American children, as a consequence, strive to throw balls or croon on microphones rather than seeking to explore the universe, discover cures for infectious diseases, or discover ways to feed the starving masses in Africa or India. Such a preoccupation with impotent images was a device to keep the slaves' aspirations in check. These ball players and singers are still rewarded with airtime and salaries unimaginable, while black scientists and scholars are seldom shown and poorly paid. The consequence is that African American young people see greater possibility on the court, the field, or stage than they ever imagined for the corporate suit, laboratory, surgery, theater, or computer lab. The current slave mentality still inhibits aspiration to be anything more than a clown. The clear exception is Dr. Bill Cosby, who used the clown role only as a tool in the educational agenda from his mind and that of others who are committed to the advancement of African American life. An even more common example of the modern slave clown is a person who feels the necessity to be a daily clown in his interactions with Caucasians. Many people have observed or experienced an African American member of an interracial team serving as the entertainer over lunch or at the party. Somehow the token African American always manages to be the funniest guy. It becomes an obsession on the part of the minority member to maintain favor with his colleagues by keeping them laughing. He often finds himself being urged, "Come on, Sam, tell a joke." So another old pattern with its roots in slavery continue to bring rewards on the modern stage. Human beings are unable to be about the serious business of living and building societies if they feel compelled to always clown or entertain others. People do not take you seriously if you don't take yourself seriously. A sense of humor brings necessary balance to an organized life. But a life of humor blinds one to life. And that does complete the section of the clown. Now, I did have some difficulty with some words, but I certainly hope I either talked through it or got through it. And certainly got the concept of what we were talking about in the clown, and certainly clowning around. Kind of certainly like the last point. I'm going to just repeat that again, that people do not take you seriously if you don't take yourself seriously. In a sense, humor brings necessary balance to an organized life. But a life of humor blinds one to life. Almost kind of want me to end it like, it ain't funny. What you laughing for? Something funny? I just thought I'd smile, you know. Yeah, I would, yeah, but anyway, you know, to the ones I'm talking to, life, and life happens. Think it's a joke, think it's funny. But when you serious, you're not laughing, and you definitely trying to change your vision, your spectacle on how you're seeing things. We gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna let you know the next title that we're gonna go into is gonna be personal inferiority. Is the next section of still this first chapter. It's a pretty long chapter. We couldn't do it in one take, but I could certainly do more than one take for us to get through this chapter, because we definitely are going to do that for sure. So until I holler at you next time, I want you to be blessed, and you know how I'm going to end it. You know I'm going to just say it, and it's going to be like this. Later, y'all. All right, I'll holler at you later.